The story of Geralt of Rivia does not begin with glory, but with abandonment. He was a child born under somber stars, his origin wrapped in mystery and silence. His mother, Vizenna, was a sorceress, cold, powerful, and distant, guided more by the demands of duty than the warmth of affection. One day, she carried her son to the gates of Kaer Morhen, a ruined fortress hidden deep within the Blue Mountains, and left him there. There were no embraces, no lullabies, no promises whispered into the child's ear. She walked away, leaving him in the hands of men who neither smiled nor sang, whose lives had been carved by hardship and combat. These were the Witchers of the School of the Wolf, men who did not raise children, but who forged survivors. Geralt was given no surname, no comfort, no choice. To the Witchers, he was simply another boy to be transformed into a weapon. Life at Kaer Morhen was cold, harsh, and silent. Its high stone walls echoed not with laughter, but with the clash of wooden practice swords, the grunts of boys driven past exhaustion, and the relentless orders of their instructors. Days were long and merciless, beginning at first light and ending only when the stars had risen. Geralt, like the others, ran obstacle courses until his legs trembled, sparred until his arms felt like lead, and studied the anatomy of monsters that most men only knew from nightmares. They were taught to brew potions and to memorize the weak points of every creature they might one day face. Childhood games had no place there. There were no toys, no songs, only discipline, endurance, and survival. And yet, even this relentless training was only preparation for what truly defined their fate: the trial of the grasses. This was no ceremony or symbolic rite of passage. It was a brutal experiment of alchemy and cruelty, a transformation that altered the body at its very core. The young were strapped down, their veins filled with mutagenic compounds and strange concoctions of unknown origin. Fevers raged through their small frames, twisting them inside and out. Some screamed for hours, their voices fading into hoarse silence. Most did not live to see another dawn. The mortality rate was staggering, and every child who entered the trial knew, though few were old enough to understand, that death awaited more often than survival. But Geralt survived. More than that, Geralt endured the trial with a resilience that astonished his masters. His body accepted the poisons and mutations better than other boys before him. Where others perished, he withstood. Where others broke, he adapted. Impressed, the Witchers decided to push further, subjecting him to additional experimental mutations, tests so dangerous that they had not been performed for generations. The risk was immense, but the result was undeniable. His skin turned pale, as if the blood had been drained from him. His hair bleached into a spectral white, earning him the appearance that would one day inspire the name White Wolf. His senses sharpened beyond human comprehension. He could hear the scurry of a rat through the thickness of a wall, see the heat of living creatures even in total darkness, and react faster than any trained swordsman alive. His emotions, however, grew muted. They did not vanish entirely, but became distant, as though walled off, leaving him colder and more detached. From that day on, Geralt was marked not only as a Witcher, but as something different even among his kind, a mutant among mutants. When his training was complete and his mutations stabilized, Geralt received the two blades of his profession, a sword of steel for men and a sword of silver for monsters. With nothing left to bind him to Kaer Morhen, he set out into the world alone. Witchers did not keep surnames. They were meant to be tools, not men with identities. But Geralt, perhaps yearning for a sense of belonging, chose one for himself: Geralt of Rivia. It was a fabrication. He had no ties to that land. Yet the name gave him something to hold on to, a piece of stability in a world that saw him as an aberration. Years later, his choice would be validated. Queen Meve of Lyria and Rivia, moved by his valor, knighted him, making the false name into truth. From then on, Geralt wandered from village to village, from mountains to swamps, offering his sword for coin. To peasants, he was a necessary evil, a frightening presence they tolerated because he rid their homes of monsters. To nobles, he was a discreet tool, someone who could handle tasks others dared not touch. And to the creatures of the night, he was death itself. Yet Geralt's code set him apart. He did not kill without reason, nor did he betray contracts or agreements. He lived by neutrality, balance, and restraint. Even so, Geralt often strayed from the cold detachment expected of a witcher. He spared monsters that did no harm. He judged men more harshly than beasts, and questioned the cruelty of humanity more often than the savagery of claws and fangs. His white hair, golden eyes, and quiet defiance became his hallmarks. To the world, he was a curiosity and a terror in equal measure. Each winter, Geralt returned to Kaer Morhen, not seeking comfort, for little remained, but because tradition pulled him back. Each year, fewer witchers survived, and the fortress grew quieter, more desolate. Kaer Morhen became a haunted relic of a fading age, echoing with memories of those who had fallen. The time of the monster hunters was ending. Yet for Geralt, the crumbling walls always marked the beginning. It was the place where a nameless child had been broken, reforged, and given purpose, not by love, but by fire and steel. They say witchers are made, not born. But Geralt's story is more complex. He was the son of magic, forged by alchemy, tempered by pain. Yet beneath the scars and mutations, a soul remained, one that questioned, resisted, and endured. And so the White Wolf walks the world, a relic of a dying order, a sword without a banner, a man who never chose his path, but walks it with unbreakable will, not because he was forced, but because, somehow, deep within, he chose it. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to this channel. We will continue Geralt's story very soon. We post weekly videos with original stories, as well as lore from established sci-fi and fantasy franchises. Thank you